Hello, welcome in the new point. With the new point, we will study. We are studying here the socialism in the Europe. After studying this, we will move toward the Russian Revolution. But for this revolution, what changes taken place? What was the background for it? We are seeing through the different points. In the earlier point, we have seen the different streams were there of the thinking, the liberals, radicals, and the conservatives. Now we will move toward the next part. Again, what changes taken place in the Europe, industrial society and social change. How the industrial society formed here and what social changes taken place due to the industrial society or industrialization, we will see. It was a time of profound social and economical change. Profound, strong. The strong social and economical changes taken place in this time. So this is a very different time from the earlier. The changes were taken place. The changes were not normal. It's very strong. What changes taken place? New cities came up and new industrialized regions developed, railways expanded. Due to industrialization, new cities came up, new cities formed, the industrial cities formed. Not only industrial cities formed, the industrial regions also formed. And for it, the reason was there, the railways expanded for the transportation. Once transportation expanded, it gives lead for the industrialization also. So in this way, the industrialization occurred in the Europe. Due to this industrial revolution, what happened? We will see here. The industrial revolution brought changes in the European society. What changes brought here? Brought this industrialization brought men, women, children into factories to work. The men, women, and along with them, their children also rash rushed toward the factories. This was the change first taken place in the this period or during the industrialization. Industrialization brought men, women, and children to factories. Work hours were often long and wages were poor. The working hours were very long. Often it was long. Often, mostly, most time. But other hand, the wages were poor. The wages were not satisfactory to these people according to their work. So this was also happened due to industrialization. The work hours were often long and wages were poor. The another change here, the unemployment was common, particularly during times of low demand for industrial goods. The unemployment was common. People were willing to do work, but the work was not available. That is called unemployment. So unemployment was a common means common scenario. Always it can be seen, particularly mostly in the period of low demand of the industrial goods. Seasonal unemployment it may we can call in particular season there is a demand for the production and rest of the year there is no demand for this production. When there is no demand for this production, that time these people getting the workers getting unemployed. So this kind of unemployment occurred in the Europe during this period. This was not only a problem, again the problem was there. Housing and sanitation were problems since towns were growing rapidly. The towns were growing rapidly, but the basic needs, that is the housing where people should live, that region or that area, and the sanitation problem was the common again here because the towns were growing rapidly. These were the issues due to the industrialization or due to the industrial revolution taken place in the Europe in the life of the workers. These are the issues in the earlier paragraph you have studied. This was the time of the changing social and economical change, how the industrialization occurred there. In on this slide you have studied here what issues brought the industrial revolution in the life of the workers. Problems were there, issues there, but who will solve this problem? Then the liberals and radicals taken lead to solve these problems. Liberals and radicals searched for solution of these issues. What issues were there? In the earlier slide you have seen. For that issues, the liberals and radicals seen the solution. Industries were the property of individuals. The industries were owned by the individuals. Liberals and radicals themselves were oftenly property owner and employers. The liberals and radicals themselves were often property owners. The liberals and radicals also property owner and employers. They were giving employment to the people they call employers. Means they can solve this problem. How they solve the problem? They were opposed to the privileges which people enjoyed. It were enjoyed by very few people. For this, the radicals and liberals were against or opposing the old aristocracy which given the privileges to the few people. It were opposed by the liberals and radicals. The property these people owned, by how they collected this wealth, the liberals and radicals, through the trade. These people were engaged in the trade and industrial ventures. In another places they were going and doing the industries. So through it, these people collected the wealth. That such efforts should be encouraged. They want encourage such efforts to collect the wealth. But it should be beneficial to the all, that its benefits would be achieved to the workforce in the economy was healthy and citizens were educated. This wealth should be enjoyable to the all. The people who are working for it, they are important. They should be healthy, which will make the healthy economy. This kind of workforce these people were asking. Liberals and radicals were interested. They firmly believed that the value of individual effort. Everyone is taking effort and he or she should get value of his or her efforts, labors and enterprise. If freedom of individual was ensured, if the poor could labor and those with capital could operate without restraint, they believed that societies would develop. To develop the society, these liberals were thinking to develop this society, the property should be used to the all, means the poor, the labor, and not only the property should distribute or should be used by all, but also the freedom of individuals should also respect. These liberals and radicals believe that societies would develop. To develop the society, we should take the efforts. The property concentration should not happen. Many working men and women who wanted changes in the world rallied around liberals and radicals. The people, those who were interested to bring the changes in the life in the world, these people rallied, gathered around the liberals and radicals. So these groups formed the association and it became the political parties in the early 19th century. In this way, the different political parties are the association formed of the workers. Nationalist liberals and radicals wanted revolution. To make the changes, the nationalist people, liberals and radicals want one revolution to make the change. Some nationalist liberals and radicals wanted revolutions to put an end to the government of established in Europe in 1815. In 1815, the changes were taken place in the Europe and conservative governments were established in many places of the Europe. But these nationalist liberals radicals want to make end of the government which established after 1815 by the conservatives. In France, Italy, Germany and Russia, they became revolutionaries and worked to overthrow existing monarchs. These people worked to overthrow the existing monarchs. Nationalists talked of revolutions and would create nations where all citizens would have. They want to make the nation in which nation all citizens should have the equal rights. After 1815, Giuseppe Mazzini, an Italian nationalist, conspired with others to achieve this in Italy. Nationalists elsewhere, including India, also worked to bring the equal rights to the individuals. In this way, the